Hey, Mrs. Lohoff here. It is lesson 3.5, addition of fractions, part E. That's basically part 5. Why do I have 6 fingers up? Part 5, which is why we have 3.5. All right, let's get into it. We are going to, if it lets me move again. All right, here we go. We are going to add fractions where the denominators are different. Come on, there we go. In order to do that, the first thing we need to do is figure out, so we're going to add 2/12 plus 2/4. We can't do it the way it's written because the denominators are different. We have 12 and we have 4. We can't add or subtract fractions unless the denominators are the same. So we have to look at the numbers 12 and 4 and find a common multiple. And we want the one that's the least because we want things to be easy. And I can do that by kind of writing out the multiples. 12 times 1 is 12. 12 times 2 is 24. 12 times 3 is 36. Phew. And then I can come down and do 4 until we have a number that's the same. Well, 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 3 is 12. Wait, 12? 12. We have 12 for both. We have 12 here and 12 here, and that is the smallest multiple they have in common. Yay! So here's what we're going to do. We're going to change both fractions so that the denominator for both fractions is 12, and then we can add them together. So I'm going to get rid of this thinking stuff I have here. All right, so we want both fractions to have 12 as the denominator. Want equivalent fractions. So these fractions are equal, but they're going to have a different denominator. And then they're both 12, so we can add it together. Well, hey, this one's already 12, so we don't have to do anything to it. It still is 2 12s. To get 4 to 12, we multiplied by 3. Whatever you do to one part of a fraction, you have to do the same thing to the other part to keep it equal. 4 times 3 is 12. 2 times 3 is 6. Now we can add, and our new fraction will still have the denominator or the bottom number of 12. 2 plus 6 is 8. So the answer is 8/12. We can write this in a simpler form. I know that I can divide 8 by the same number I can divide 12 by. I can divide them both by 4 to get a smaller and equivalent fraction. So that's going to be 8 minus 4. 8 divided by 4 is 2. 12 divided by 4 is 3. So the answer to the problem, 2/12 plus 2/4 is 2/3. All right, let's look at another example. Here we have two fractions to add together again. We have 1/4 plus 6/8. Our denominators are different. We need to find the least common multiple between these two denominators. So we write out the multiples. 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 3 is 12. 4 times 4 is 16. We'll go there. 8 times 1 is 8. Wait a minute. We already have a common multiple. It's 8 right here and right here. Okay, so we're going to change both fractions so that the denominator is 8. Then the denominators will be the same, and we can add them together. And bonus, 1 already is 8. So that makes life a heck of a lot easier. We're going to make this an equivalent fraction where the denominator is 8. And this an equivalent fraction where the denominator is 8. Oh, I know why this is happening only when I record. It has to do with the image movements, I think. Well, we're just going to copy this over. 6/8 is equal to 6/8. It's the same fraction. It has 8 as a denominator. To change 1/4 into a fraction where the denominator or bottom is 8, I have to figure out what did I multiply 4 times to get 8? Well, 4 times 2 is 8. Whatever I do to one part of the fraction, I have to do the same thing to the other to keep it equal. 1 times 2 is 2. Now we have 2/8 plus 6/8, and our answer is going to be an eighth. 2 plus 6 is 8, and 8/8 is the same as 1 whole. If I have 8 pieces of pizza and all 8 pieces are there, I have 1 whole pizza. All right, one more problem. 3/5 plus 3/8. This time, my multiples are not going to be one of the numbers. We're going to have to do something to each denominator to change it. So let's count out. 5 times 1 is 5. 5 times 2 is 10. 5 times 3 is 15. 5 times 4 is 20. 5 times 5 is 25. All right, let's do multiples of 8. 8 times 1 is 8. 8 times 2 is 16. 8 times 3 is 24. 8 times, 8 times 4 is 32. 8 times 5 is 40. Well, we don't have anything in common yet. But I know 40 is going to work out. So 5 times 1, 5 times 2, 5 times 3, 5 times 4, 5 times 5, and 5 times 6 is 30. 5 times 7 is 35. Sometimes you have to go out a ways. 5 times 8 is 40. In this case, my least common multiple is actually a bigger number, and it's 40. Now that we know that, we're going to go back. We're going to come up with an equivalent fraction for both of these, where the bottom number or the denominator is 40. And then we can add them together. All right, get rid of this. We are looking for a denominator of 40. And we want this one to be 40 as well so that we can add those numerators together. All right, 8 times what equals 40? Well, 8 times 5. Whatever we do to the bottom, we need to do the same to the top. 3 times 5 is 15. 15/40 is the same as 3/8. All right, let's do this other fraction. 5 times what equals 40? That is a really wonky 40. 5 times 8 is 40, so we need to multiply the top by 8, so it's equal. 3 times 8 is 24. Okay, now we can add 24/40 plus 15/40 because our denominators are the same. The bottom is going to be 40, and 24 plus 15 is 39. This fraction cannot be written in simpler terms. The answer is 39/40. I hope this has helped you as you work through fractions. If you have questions, remember you can email me, you can give me a call, you can join the 1 o'clock optional support time for this lesson. All right, take care, guys. Bye.